Do a quick check. Okay, hello parents. Thanks for waiting for us. And this is Coach John again from Learning Out of the Box. And today we have a very special guest, and her name is Felicia. Hello, Felicia.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hello, John.
Yeah. Okay. So, Felicia has a lot of experience in terms of parenting niche. So before we let her take over the stage, yeah. So let me introduce her first. She's an author, speaker, and fulfillment coach. And today we are going to discuss about parenting your child through their perspectives. Okay. So Felicia, before you share with us what exactly does it mean by parenting your child through their perspective, would you be able to share with us? So actually, what made you do the good work that you are doing today? What's your backstory like?
Actually, yeah, I got married in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
So, but of course, the plan, like all married couple, was to get married, have children, and start family. So, unfortunately, I actually miscarried twice. Both are IVF, and on the second pregnancy, it was a twins. So I actually lost three angel babies, and all of them are actually boys. So it was until 2015 where I welcomed my rainbow baby. What do you mean by rainbow baby? It's actually a baby that we welcome after loss lah. And it doesn't mean that we forgot about our losses lah, in that sense. Yeah.
Understand. Thanks for being able to share what an important aspect of your life. Yeah. Yeah. So when you talk about fulfillment coach and also parenting children through their perspective, could you like give us some context? Yeah, because I think parenting itself is a very big topic.
I think it starts from the one that the author that comes in. Why so was because obviously after my miscarriage, I actually wrote a book. So out of the three pregnancy came three book. So that's how, in that sense, I became the author. And of course, then standing on the stage to speak up, to really share my story and to encourage and inspire people that there's still hope at the end of the day. Yeah. So be it in your own crisis, be it in your own life challenges, there's always hope at the end of the day, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel as well. So that's what I wanted to encourage people. But having said so, moving forward, that's where I realized you also start to question what is life means to you. What does life means to you? And of course, because my company is out of life, so what does life means to you? You see, after my miscarriage, so how do I want to so-called prioritize the things I view as importance in my life? Was having a child of importance, or was creating a business, a career of importance, and what is the ranking like? So that's where I come to this, in a way, a full circle, to tell myself, okay, my priorities is I still want to have a child, my own baby to call, and I still believe that I can work through that. And of course, for my case, is eventually, yes, I do have my own child. So that's where, in a way, it comes to fulfillment, because I set out to what I want to be, and eventually I got where I wanted to be. Yeah.
When you talk about fulfillment, it means the parent himself or herself feel fulfilled. Yeah. And okay, so I also heard about the part that also prioritizing what is important to the parents. So what do you think are some of the steps that a parent can take in terms of even being aware what is important to them?
Of course, when you having a child is not something that you can, not like exam, you can study hard, work hard, and higher chance you can have a good results. But having a child is not something that you do what is necessary and you can have a child and it happens. So of course, along the way things happen, and of course, not to mention when you are working towards a goal, there's obstacles, there's challenge. Suddenly your business start picking up, or suddenly you have big clients, big job coming in. So who do you choose? Who do you weigh? Then of course it make you rethink about your priorities as well. If it is can you shelve this project for the time being? But having said so, once you're pregnant, you cannot say, oh, I leave the pregnancy later, I come back to it. It's not something like that,
Cannot,
right? Project you
cannot.
can, right? A book project and shelve it KIV first. But pregnancy you can't. Once you are pregnant, it's a 9-month, 10-month project. That's it. You have to follow through. So
Yes, yes.
that forces you to be very focused also, and also constantly reminding you what are the priorities. Yeah, and also what is the things at stake. Yeah, because I used to be quite a workaholic person, frankly. I can work back to back. I set appointment on lunch timing and I forgot to have my lunch, that kind of thing.
Mm,
And I came back like 3, 4 p.m. or 4, 5 p.m. then wondering, why am I hungry? Then I realized
mm,
I missed
mm,
my lunch entirely. So that
mm,
was the issue as well, that it forces you to relook even at your health, that you need to know, because if you are pregnant, you need to know, okay, I need to eat regularly, regular meals, nutrition, food as well, stuff like that. So it
mm,
forces you to really have that kind of more well-balanced life, and also more so for my case, because I had miscarried twice.
mm,
Obviously, I need to be
mm,
more diligent and conscious about it, on working towards it, to make all efforts count and to make it work at all costs, so to speak, because not to mention there's a lot of cost involved,
yep.
a lot of tears, blood, literally, counting. So that's
Mm,
where we really have to be very focused on it, and to really do what it needs to get me there, so to speak.
yeah. Yeah. So as you're sharing about the pregnancy phase, yes, I can totally relate to that. I mean, I'm a father of 3 girls. I was there with my wife. I mean, I would say that I think I supported her to the best I can. Yeah, with the nauseous and the vomiting, and still, she was an ex-teacher and she still need to teach. And I know it's not easy for her. And
Yeah. Yes.
and the stomach gets bigger, right? Yeah, yeah. So okay, so talk about working moms right now with their children growing up in primary schools, and I believe that some parents told me that they have to fetch their children and they do skip their lunch as well. Yeah. So in this kind of situation, when a parent has to always weigh um what's important for the child versus what's important to herself. So how can a parent find a balance? Because I think it's going to be an everyday battle for
Yes, yes. I
for
think it's a
them.
very, very good and valid question. Because
Yeah.
frankly, if before COVID, we used to be able to travel. Remember the air stewardess will always say, in terms of emergency, put on the face mask on yourself first, then on your child.
Yes,
So
yes.
frankly, initially when I, just had my newborn, I was like, no, I want to save my boy first, why should I put my face mask on myself first? But after learning what's the theory behind, it's really ensuring that only then he can have 100% chances of survival if you are alive still, which struck me as well, frankly, because yes, I will want to save him first before me, but chances are if he's alone, how can he survive? Yeah, so that was the thing also, that after, of course, he was born as a premature baby, so not to mention,
Mm,
you
mm,
can imagine a lot of chaos. We don't know how to handle his so-called very first child in the
mm,
family
mm,
as well, in his family as well. So there's a lot of anxiety as well, how to take care. So obviously, yeah, you can imagine I don't dress up every day, it's the same day,
mm,
yes, which is true, you don't take care of yourself, stuff like that. But as he grew older, probably like toddler, 2, 3 years old, then I start to realize it's taking a toll on my health as well. Yeah.
mm,
Then
mm,
of course, what is the setback? I will obviously lash it on him, or obviously, couldn't take care of him properly. So it's a vicious cycle, ma. So if I'm
mm,
sick, how can I take care of him? And more so, I worry I might pass the virus to him. So
mm,
then I sort of have to force myself. I cannot be sick, I have to be healthy, or else I cannot
mm,
best take care of him. And likewise, he will suffer, because obviously I imagine now, if it's just a common flu or whatever, it's fine. But imagine if it is a more severe one, that you are sick or down for the whole week. That means in a way, I feel that I'm depriving him of his childhood, because I can't bring him out. I can't, go out with him or enjoy quality time with him and all sorts, because I'm down. So I feel that I am depriving him of what is necessary. So that's where it forces me to be better as well.
Yeah. And hearing from what you say, I think I mean my observation here is you are a person with very high self-awareness, and I always hear the word I have to change. I have to be better for him because I need to be there for my child. Yeah. Again, in my own experience of working with mothers especially, and sometimes we do hear like wow, they say that, hey, John, I know what you say is correct. Yes, I got to do this first, I got to do that first. But you know that I simply have no time. Yeah, so if a client comes to you and say, Coach Felicia, what you say is all go, I must follow. But it's so hard. Yeah, so what will be some of your the start for the parents to start to change? Old habits die hard as well. And we parents will do our best for our child.
I think the end of the day is asking yourself, why do you need this? Why do you need to change? Because there is one occasion similarly, I was rushing my boy. So we are running late for time, like what you say, very usual, right? Need to rush to go childcare, then after that need to go work, cannot be late, stuff like that. So I was rushing him. So he made a remark. So he said, I'm already going as fast as I can already. How fast do you want me to be? Wow, he really struck me.
Slap in the face.
Yeah. I was like, wow. So if he can say that, I feel very bad, Then why can't I prep him earlier? Why can't I start him earlier? Then now that I have to go through this mad rush. You get me? So it really struck me. So it forces me that, okay, I need to, time manage better, prep better, or prep him better, so that we don't need to go through this. And it doesn't make him feel good. So do I. So it's not helping both of us. So that's where I realized, why so? Why so? We all wanted a good morning. We want a happy start. Nobody want to be like screaming, yelling, get ready lah, take your bag, that kind of thing. Nobody wants that. But sad to say, somehow or other, we have been doing that. So then the question is how to turn things around lah. Yeah, so of course for me, yes, I do tell him big time stories. So the night before, of course, I do run through with him. So it's very interesting in the sense that sometimes as a 6-year-old, it's quite interesting what they ask. So they ask, how's your day? So in return, I do ask, how is his day? And then I'll prep him in terms of, tomorrow morning, we need to do this, that kind of thing. So that he roughly know what's the routine going to be, how much time he has and stuff like that. Then he can be ready and he chose an option. So for example, I'll say, okay, if we choose to sleep in late, we'll have to take bus, we got time, we can't walk to school. Things like that. So he made a choice. And then when in the morning when I wake him up, I will tell you, okay, remember this is your choice. You say you want to, wake up early to walk. If you don't wake up now, then that's it. We will have to take bus. So that he remember of his choice and he decided, okay, no, I'm going to stick to what I choose. I will, wake up now. So there's no argument, no shouting in a sense, because it's his choice that he made. You see, yeah.
Well, this is very good. So just to recap, parents, just to help you to compile the points into like to-do list. What I'm hearing from Felicia is every time Felicia will do like a bedtime story, which is a routine for the child. Then the other one is prep the child like what will happen tomorrow. And I think what's really beautiful here is as a mother, you gave your child a choice. Yeah, because I think in my own context, when I rush, I don't remember giving my child a choice. Do this now because I'm a father. Yeah.
Of course, there are scenarios whereby there's no choice. As in today, you have to like take bus, no other options. Then that's where I will tell him, okay, I will look at my schedule and say, I'll negotiate to say, okay, maybe Wednesday or Thursday we will walk instead, or in the evening I'll pick you up, we will walk instead. So that's where he still got the option to choose which day he can choose to have that, that walking routine. So then he felt that he has the say, so to speak, but it's because based on your agenda, your schedule. Yes.
And it sounds to me that I think what is a learning point for me here is your child to you, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like a partner. Yeah, so when you discuss it with him, it's a form of collaboration that's, hey, I also want to hear from you as well. And this reminded me of like, like being in a tour group before, like when the bus is going back to the hotel late at night, right? The tour guide will always make use of the opportunity and say, hey, guys, tomorrow we're going to somewhere. So this is agenda. what time do you want to wake up? Yeah, so the tour guide actually prep us, right? And so sad now we cannot travel. Yeah, yeah,
So
good.
I think yeah lor. So that's where I see that there's a, which is true lah, it's a partnership. So he felt that he has his say as well. He did participated, so he's more willing to coordinate with you as well. Then there's less screaming in the morning or less shouting in the morning, that kind of thing. So we are at least happier to go out, and of course, so when obviously he didn't do well, he knew that this is what is required or what is asked of you, but you didn't do it. So that's why probably you got scolding, or that's why something happened. So but he knows what is the consequences.
Yeah. I'm actually reading between the lines, because I think there's a lot of intentional parenting tips that if you don't catch what you're saying and why you're saying it, we'll be losing a lot of gems from your sharing. So what I'm caught is you also let your child take ownership. Yeah, remember you said this, you made the choice, and if it doesn't go as well as you wanted, you have to take ownership.
Yes.
Mm.
So we do practice that a lot, and also because so there are times. So initially before COVID, we actually set out one Thursday, which is Thursday evening, to be his so-called his timing. So that's where I'll pick him up from his childcare, and he will decide where he wants to go. It could be a bus, it could be MRT to whichever lah in Singapore. At least, of course, not too far to the extreme, but at least he can decide, okay, which MRT station he wants to take to, what he wants to do. And, we settle for a meal. So in a way, he planned the day, the evening, so to speak. So he's, of course, very excited. He get to plan for it. And of course, sometimes it could be a not so nice choice. Maybe he goes to a Ulu MRT that no shopping mall, no nothing. Then, of course, I'll tell you, hey, this place, there's actually nothing much. There's probably other options like this. Would you prefer something else? And guide him along that sense. Then of course he will discuss, what do you think? I'm not very sure, mommy, stuff like that. So that's where we discuss, and then we say, okay, maybe we go for this. So then he's happy lah. So he's happy to feel like he's exploring a new place with me. At the same time, I am guiding him along the way as well.
It sounds like a date night. I mean, I do date nights with all my girls, which include my wife as well. Yeah, so especially for my girls, I started to do that since they were born. Yeah, so okay, so I want to ask a question. Okay, so let's say your child said that, hey, mommy, I want to go to a station X lah, a Ulu place one, and you know that it's going to be dinner time, and you know that if you reach there won't be anything there to eat at all. Will you intentionally get him to choose something else? Or what will your decision be like?
Yeah, so depending on how strict the timing is. So sometimes I will negotiate with him to say, okay, we settle for somewhere nearer, have your meal first. Then after your dinner, then we go and explore the place. So that we can have the time, and because at least he's taken care, he is full lah. Rather than we going there and then he's hungry or I'm angry, that kind of thing, then we get very ends, and then we have to, rush off. Then he feel like he hasn't explored the place yet. Yeah, so at least I would rather, be full and eaten. Then we can take a leisure walk and say, oh, okay, this is the place which you still insist to see, there's nothing much, but, anyway, we are here, that kind of thing. So that's where at least he feels satisfied in the sense that, okay, he did try despite knowing this is what he expects, and he's okay also learning how to accept disappointment sometimes, because this is not to your expectation, and then how are you going to deal with it?
Awesome. Yeah. So what are the other activities that you do with your child? Because I think you do a lot of like on Thursdays, like giving him the freedom to choose. Yeah. So what are some of the activities? Okay, why I say that is because in my own experience, some parents told me, John, again, I want to spend time with my kid, but after all days of work, John, that I'm so tired. I want to do, but I just can't. Yeah, so okay, date night sometimes when I share with my friends date night, they like, what? John, you got 3 girls, you still have time. Yeah. So so want to hear from you. So what do you what can
Actually,
you
every little things in our life around us could be a lesson or a learning lesson, which I realized because sometimes I even picked up from him rather from myself. Because I mean, we sure we are very guilty lah. While walking, we will be texting, holding the phone. We are not looking at anything. So there's one time that I was just usual routine. We crossed the bridge to get to the opposite bus stop. So he was commenting I was on my phone. He was commenting that the flowers on this side is looks better than on the other side. Then that's where, of course, I look down and look at it. Wow, it's like, wow, really different. So then he started asking me, how come? Because it's just 2 sides of the bridge. And obviously the flowers look very different. Then that's where we become a science class now. Then we start exploring because maybe the sun is here at this direction, there's more water here, so on and so forth. So it becomes a science lesson. Yeah. And of course there's flowers, there's birds, and of course he start asking me why is this, who is what bird is this bird, that kind of thing. So of course I don't know all answers. So of course we started Googling. So that's where I realized, you don't need to really go to a classroom to start learning. It can starts anytime, anywhere, as long as he's ready to really ask you a question and you're ready to interact with him and help guide him. So that's where I realized it. So even at home when we were start at COVID, I mean, same lah. We also struggle what kind of activities, what kind of games to play. So I played the very old school pasar malam game. So I literally just tie a plastic bag with the stick, and then I told him it's a kite. So you can fly the kite. And he just run with this plastic bag on the stick, and he's so happy with it.
Yeah.
And he start drawing on the plastic bag to decorate his kite, which doesn't take much effort. And we definitely have a plastic bag at home. Yeah. So these are the little things that sometimes we can just improvise on. It's not that you need to prep how many hours, how many days pre-prep the material to do it. You don't need. Yeah. So I was thankful I am able to just make use of little things at home and reinvent the game, reinvent the wheel as well, so that he can just play along the way and he find it interesting as well.
Okay, let me push a bit because I also hear a lot from my friends and all are great parents. I think also I'm sure that all parents want the best for their kids. What if the parents keep on saying that, John, I love what you're saying, Coach Felicia, I know what I love what you're saying. Yes, I know, but I simply have no time. What can be a good start for her?
So for them, it could be sometimes whichever is easier. It could be a meal time, okay, yeah. It could be just a half an hour reading time. I mean, half an hour, surely you can, right? Yeah. Sometimes it could be even a TV time, because even watching show with my boy, I explain to him what is on the show, what you should not learn, what you should learn from the show, stuff like that. Yep. So it could be also a lesson learned for them, so that at least you want to guide them to learn the right things from the show lah. Sometimes you don't know what they're showing also. Yeah. So that was the thing as well. So it could be as simple as that. Even for me, like walking to the bus stop, a 5-10 minutes thing, but because if it is done in a routine, it gets repeating. Then that's where the questions start coming in. They start exploring more things. They want to try to get out of the routine, stuff like that. Then that's where you see how much they can explore and where's your tolerance level, your threshold level, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be able to shed some lights on different activities for kids of different age group? Okay, maybe you can start off with preschoolers, lower primary, then we can move up to upper primary. Because I think that their mentality and having 3 kids of that age group, what they like is definitely not the same. Yeah. So could you shed some lights on what?
So for me, during the preschooler, obviously it's learning words lah. So we are quite conscious to guide them in terms of buses, car, taxi, all these. We will tell them what is the English word for it. And we also tell them what is the Chinese character words for it. Both lah, bilingual, Singapore, we have to be bilingual. So that's where I will be more conscious to share him. Then I'll also sometimes ask him, instead of me always sharing, do you know what is the Chinese word for this? Stuff like that for preschooler. So of course for primary school, what I see is even now he's coming into P1. During my bedtime story, I consciously will tell him what is likely the routine for primary school and what is expected of him. So in that sense, because it's very intimidating, suddenly you go to school with a lot of students that you don't know, and obviously there's also higher level students, you see. So that's where I will guide him to say what kind of scenario will you likely see, who are the people you might go with or have meals with, stuff like that, and how to even make friends. So I'll share with him things like that as a bedtime story. So at least he can, sort of visualize what is he expecting, and of course there are times whereby he asks, what if their friend don't want to go lunch with me or stuff like that. Then I also can guide him to say, okay, how about you find another friend or stuff like that. So there's always the expected scenario and the unexpected scenario lah. Yeah. So that's where I see. And of course, for upper primary, I would see is of course preparing for examinations lah. That's why of course, parents will have a lot of expectation on them. But having said so, it's also laying the foundation in your lower primary school and then guiding him along the way such that, of course, he will sure be stressed. But how can we don't put our own stress onto him on top of his already stress level? So that's where I see, which is always, it is the little bit that counts to guide him every day, such that when he is there, you know that, okay, every day we have done this, you can do this, and to empower him and to encourage him that, hey, we done this on a daily basis, this is just one part of the milestone you have to go through, and it's okay. And of course we encourage him, you do your best, that's most important. And of course, whatever the result is, we will be happy as long as you've done your best.
Yeah, and I like the word that when you say that foundation. And yes, I agree with you that for children to do well in school, the foundation can be laid out should be laid out in lower primary as well as even preschool as well. Yeah. And on the other note, I think I also have heard some parents that as the children get older, especially become teenagers, somehow they tend to like lose touch with the children. And I believe that there should be some form of solid foundation with their kids in terms of relationship as well. So how do you what can parents do to make sure that they lay a proper foundation when it comes to bonding with their kids in the earlier years?
I think, of course, as mentioned, is laying the foundation right at the beginning. So it makes things easier. But having said so, if you have missed out that phase for whatever reasons, or you feel like, hey, you didn't do properly, so go back to it. Go restart again. So it's always about spending some quality times with them, because you'll be surprised what they will say when you spend quality times with them. And they will tell you their heartfelt feelings or emotions about the day or about the parent himself. And that's where we can find where's the gap to bridge and how to best communicate with them. Yeah, because only when spending time, then you will know, which also leads to, I'm not sure of this, or some people who knows the 5 love language. Yeah, so that's where you know how they want to be best cared for. And that's where that I feel I can cater for. Then I know how to reach out to him in which area, and which sense to spend time with him. Yeah, so that's what I realized as well, that it is very important in that sense to really find out what is his love language, how he wants to be appreciated, stuff like that. Then to guide him along that direction, which makes it best effective.
Yeah. So to add on to what you shared, parents, if you are keen to check out the 5 love languages, you can Google, and the 5 love languages is what do you remember the 5? Because I can't remember.
Words of affirmations, acts
Example,
of service,
example.
acts of service,
Yeah.
Okay, of course, words of affirmation will be praising them lah, to say, hey, I'm not very I thank you for whatever effort that you've done, blah blah. And I feel best appreciated lah when you said so, stuff like that. Yeah, acts of service, which is another one. Of course, acts of service will say, okay, he or she maybe couldn't wake up late and you prep breakfast already when he wake up. So he makes that, he despite he's late or whatever, he don't need to rush because breakfast is already packed and stuff like that. Okay, receiving gift, obviously that is, which is nice. It could be a surprise, it could be a small gift, but it shows that the person feels appreciated on and off for the little things that they done. And quality time, okay, quality time, of course, yeah, it's really spending time with the person, to chat, to spend time with. And last but not least is physical touch. Then of course, yeah, it could be a hug, it could be holding hands, it could be a rub or whatever, to also make them feel love in a sense.
Yeah. I think here I can share a bit on as a father with 3 daughters of different age lah. Yeah. So for me, I think as my girls get older, like 11 years old, I think as a male figure at home, I will be more sensitive, especially in public. Yeah. So okay, my girls will hug me every night before they sleep. And they're doing, I think they do it willingly lah. Yeah. But outside, for my P3 girl, I still hold her hand. But for my eldest P5, I stopped holding her hand anymore because I know that she may feel not comfortable, and I'm very sensitive to that. But at times, as a father, I will just put my hands over her shoulder and say thumbs up or just tease her in a sense. But I make it like a quick kind of thing. And if I feel that there's any form of like shrugging of shoulders that she's not comfortable, I will quickly take it away. I think it's the same for mothers to son as well. Sometimes as son grows up, they may not want their mommy to be holding onto their hand in front of their friends. Maybe they are so fearful of being teased. Yeah, so I think as parents, we need to be sensitive of their non-verbal cues there. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, actually, I also ask him like, can you give me a hug? So I'll ask him for that.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do ask, so that to let him know that, oh, mommy also actually have a bad day, so can you give me a hug? Stuff like that. Then he feel that, oh, my hug is being appreciated as well.
Yeah.
So that's where, yeah, it just comes in. And of course, yeah, there are times whereby he will just come automatically and hug me as well. Then of course, I will ask him in return to say, hey, why, how come you need a hug or something, that kind of thing. So that's where we start conversations as well.
And I like the part that you say that you actually ask for it. And a lot of times, in my experience of just now I was sharing with you that I was in social work for 7 years. And in my experience of working with families, I was working with the single parents and their children. And a lot of times, I think there's this unseen game being played in the family dynamics, which is, I expect you to know what I want. Yeah. But I think if you think about it, human beings they're not psychic, and I won't know what you want, you won't know what I want. So it's good that we ask. Yeah. So parents, do not assume that your kids also know what you want. And this is why I think Felicia and I believe that it's important to do date nights or date afternoon or date morning, breakfast, whatever. Spend time with your kids and get to know them. Yeah. And one thing that I don't talk about during date nights is not about schoolwork at all. Yeah, it's something that is off the school topic. So want to be careful on that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So okay, I think I like the part when you say that it's a restart. What if the child doesn't want to spend time with the parents? I mean, it may happen because it's so ingrained into the family routine that, hey, mommy doesn't spend time with me. And you ask me now, no lah, I think I play my games better. And some parents may just give up after 1 or 2 tries. What will your advice be like in that case?
At the end of the day is what kind of objective you want to work towards. Because frankly, if you ask yourself, if at work if it is a project they're working through, can you give up on the project and tell the boss cannot be done? I don't do. Cannot, right?
Can.
Yeah. But when it comes to
Can.
our child, frankly, we do lah. We do at some point. Never mind lah, forget it. So then why so long? Isn't your child more important? You get me? Of course, there's bad days, days that you don't want to tackle on it. But there are days that you feel better, you feel confident enough to try to work on it again. So that's where, I mean, there's every day is a brand new start. So days that you don't feel you want to, handle it, then just leave it for the next day. So there are times where I probably start on the wrong note as well, or, then I'll just leave it as it is and I'll come back again. So then, of course, with a different approach or asking a different question, you might see that sometimes, the answer just pop up. Of course, for example, there's one scenario whereby we when he was running a fever, obviously we had a heat pad lah.
Yep.
So obviously he disliked. We tried all ways to stick the heat pads. Even when he's sleeping, he will peel it out. But it didn't struck us to really ask him why. So until there's one time that he told us, he said, Mommy, do you know why I don't like the heat pad?
Wow. Smart boy. He is able to share with you that. Wow. Amazing.
So I was like, wow. So I said, why? Because I don't like lah. It's very hot. That kind of thing. So it struck me as well. Then it's like, true lor. He just don't like it, he don't enjoy it. Then okay lah, so be it lah. Try other ways lah. Because so that's the idea. So there isn't one way to doing things. So
sorry, this heat pad is for fever or is it cooling pad?
For cooling pad.
Oh, cooling pad. It feels hot lah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know why lah. Somehow the sensation seems to be around there, so it makes it more uncomfortable for him.
Oh dear.
So then, which I realized, then I turned it around when he had high fever again. Obviously, because we need to have ice pack or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Which also obviously he disliked. So I actually had a basin full of water with ice water and whatever. Then I threw his toy inside to let him play around. So he happily dipped his hand and play around for like 10-15 minutes. And all goes well. And I will purposely pretend to splash water lah. You get it? So he's engaging in the play and it's obviously cold, but he don't mind because it is playing to him. But after that, of course, we change his clothes and stuff like that. So we still get the effect, the purpose done, and at least he feels better. And we feel more relaxed to do this on him rather than to force him to straight to sponge him and like yelling, holding down his hand, which is very terrible. So
I can imagine.
So I turned it around and then he's like, he's happy, everyone is happy. We don't need to like hold the hand, hold the leg.
Yeah.
So which is another way lor. So it's like he's still getting the work done, but in another way lah.
Yeah. And I realized that you are a person who is very systematic in terms of logical thinking. Yeah. It's like, if this doesn't work, okay, what else can work? And anyway, the heat pad, sorry, not heat pad again. The cooling gel, the cooling pad's purpose is to cool down my child's body. So what else can I do that can deliver the same cooling effect on my kid without him screaming at me and it's to gamify it? Yeah, a lot of effort is being, I would say, I think credit must go to you in the sense that a lot of effort is being put in to stay calm. Because I think most parents like me will figure out like, what? You don't to put stick on your head. And yet you still stay so calm and then make it into a game that's fun for you and the kid.
I think there's a lot of learning curve lah, trials and errors. And quite thankfully, my boy is quite verbal. So actually, we ask a lot, macam Q&A lah, FAQ, we do a lot of FAQs.
Oh my God.
Because there are times, obviously, he can't verbalize so much, right? Because he's quite limited in the early days. So we just have to ask questions on yes and no. So we ask, do you feel okay? Are you comfortable? Yes or no? Then we guide him along the perspective, all this to have the answer yes and no, to lead, so that he can help lead us and help him in return. So that because certain time he couldn't explain, he just couldn't verbalize it.
This so when you say yes and no, it really reinforced my belief that you are a very logical, systematic thinker. Like the flow chart. Do you like this? Yes, go down. No, go left. Then later, is this green? Example, no, go left again. Yes, go down.
Something like something. Yeah. So I came from an engineering background as well. So of course
Ah,
troubleshooting skills, blah blah. Then I was a graphic designer. Then that's
wow.
right brain, the creative part. So that's where we have to see, okay, this method don't work, throw, change method, think out of the box. Then we always forced to think out of the box, things out of the box. So we have to improvise things, then we start, changing, okay, this method don't work, the conventional way don't work, okay, change another way. So we are in that kind of environment before lah. So I was thankful lah. I can help to merge these two and come in between.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I also want to share that okay, I may not know your child very well, but I think for the fact that at a young age, he can tell you that, Mommy, do you know why I don't like the heat pad? I'm not sure what happened, but I think someone tell me that your boy is also a very sensitive person, and probably she caught some non-verbal cues that you showed, and she knows that you're affected by him taking out the heat pad. Sorry, not heat pad again. See, when I think of heat pad, and I think of Korea, like I'm like, I want to go Korea now. When it's snowing. Yeah. So I think your boy also sensitive, and she knows what mommy is feeling, and I'm sure that children being children, they say, I don't want mommy to feel sad lah. Yeah, I just want to explain to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensitive
So
boy.
so true. So because our energy levels so sometimes they feel it as well, and of course he expressed it in the most unexpected timing lah. But of course that's where then it blown us away as well. Like, why didn't we ask? Why didn't we ask? You ask, you gonna get, man. You don't ask, you don't get lah. That kind of thing. So which is true. Also, there are scenarios whereby certain questions or certain things just pop out of nowhere, and he started sharing lah when he's given the time and the space lah.
Yeah, I think it's next to you now, right?
Oh no, he just walk away.
Walk away. Yeah, maybe next time he can come on and share his perspective as a child in parenting. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think along this 45 minutes, you have shared so much things, and I think parents, if you just join us, I really urge that you catch the replay. And when you hear Felicia share, right, even though she's sharing something that is very normal for her, I also urge that you also start to like be curious and ask yourself, so actually what is Felicia's intention of doing that? And if you can find some answers, I think it will really up our parenting skills. And I think being a parent myself, I'm always looking at how to be a better parent, to support my children. So what would be the one final tip that you want to share with the parents that they can use it now to better support their children?
I think at the end of the day, it's really spending quality time with them and asking what is it that they want. You see, because at times we always tend to impose what we want onto them, and that may not be what they want at the end of the day. So sometimes it does matter to hear their views, and then that's where we can discuss and work things through to get maybe an in between, or at least let him to understand it doesn't work the way you planned for, reason being blah blah blah, stuff like that. So then it's sort of because you feel that you walk to a roadblock, it's blocked already and you can't undo it. So that's where when you can just really sit back and chat with him or her and find out what they want at the end of the day, and how can you both come to a consensus. I think that will be easier rather than we enforced it and he's not happy, then rebel or stuff like that. So it makes it very hard.
Yeah. And parents, if you really catch what Felicia is saying, she has laid out a step-by-step parenting 101 guide within like 2 minutes to share with you what you can do, and if it doesn't work, what else you can do. Yeah, so I'm going to like watch just the last part. Yeah. Hello, Eugenia. Okay, a parent chip in. She said that Eugenia Chua mommy very supportive as well. Chip in saying that build rapport with your child first, get their buy-in. The later part of convincing the child is easier.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so last part, I think she said about buy-in. So how do you know that you got buy-in from the kids? Like, so what are the signals that a parent should catch?
Okay, so every child varies, so it also depends lah. So for us, normally we will, of course, he want his way on certain things, then we have to, tell him like, okay, if you want this way, this is what is likely the flow. If you want that way, this is what is likely the flow, which is the chance. And if you go through to our suggested way, what could be the perks along the way, that kind of thing. So that's where he feel like, okay, he's more enticed to choose along our path. Of course, there are times whereby he still disagree lah. He still, like for example, there is this time we went for staycation. Then we wanted to take the river cruise. So we walked all the way finally to end at, I think, MBS or something, to wanting to take the cruise, only to realize 2% at one time. So obviously, it's 3 of us, and Daddy couldn't go on the cruise.
Oh dear. Okay.
So obviously, I didn't want that. Obviously, because as a family, like, why should I left my husband out?
Yeah.
He's okay for that, but I'm not okay. So my boy is okay, but I am just not okay. So I told him, no. If I can go with you, you'll be very happy, but I'll be very sad because Papa is not with us. That kind of thing. So I explained to him. Of course, he cried and teared. And I
dear.
said, yeah. And then he said, it's a 20 minutes wait for the cruise, stuff like that. So we explained. Then we gave him an option to say, okay, we go down, but we will plan for it the next time round to make sure the 3 of us can be on the cruise together. But obviously, being boy, cannot wait, right? See, I cannot wait. I want now, and everything must be now, right? So I said, no, this is not going to happen. But there's another options better. But yes, the trade-off is you have to wait for it. Of course, he still end up being sad, and then of course we walked off and end up because MBS inside got the mini one, right?
Yep.
So we took that now. So we took that, and he is still going to get a river cruise in time to come. So in a way, it's a sort of a better deal for him. So that was the thing that I realized also. Sometimes you have to let him understand he's not going to get his way, yes, but what could help better for him as well. Because there's never sometimes it's just not 100%. It's not an ideal situation. I mean, COVID, we can't choose, right? Yeah.
And I think a lot of work is being put in communicating with the child and really listening to the child. And why I stress on that is because sometimes I also catch myself communicating, thinking that I'm listening, but I just want my way as a parent. I think there's so many times that I caught myself doing that, and I have to like give in and say, hey, is this what I want or what the child wants? Can.
So it's a very good reflection. So they are really here to like train us as well, right? More patient, more conscious of what we want to say or don't say, that kind of thing. Yeah, there are times where, of course, I also caught myself. I said, okay, sorry, I said the wrong thing, that kind of thing. So I also tell me I said the wrong thing.
Got it. Okay, so Felicia, if the parents wants to get in touch with you, be it for whatever reason, how can they get hold of you?
Of course, they can PM me, right? PM me through the Facebook. I can always reply them. Or of course, you can get to my website, which is www.artoflifecircle.com.
Artoflifecircle.com.
Yeah, you can always drop me an email through there, and I can respond.
Okay, hold on. I just want to do a share screen. Okay, so parents, if you want to get hold of Felicia for whatever reason, I think the easiest way is to go to artoflifecircle.com. Go to contact page, right?
Yep. And you can just fill in the form and
Can they call you?
Yeah, of course. WhatsApp call.
Yeah. Please don't call her at 12 midnight.
I won't be able to pick up. I'll be asleep too anyway.
Yeah. Call her within normal working hours on weekdays. Yeah. Because sometimes now work from home, you don't know when it's
Every day is the
weekday,
day lah.
when it's weekend, you know.
Every day is the day. Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
WhatsApp lor. Yeah, lor, that's the easiest.
Can. Okay. So Felicia, thanks so much for your time. And normally for the wrap up, which you have done very well, yes, there's always a wrap up by me lah. Yeah. And in the wrap up, I ask all my guests the same question. Can I ask you now?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You know that we provide support for parents with primary school going kids, and being a Singapore kid, all of us have to sit for our PSLE like at 12. Yeah, different experience for different people. Okay, so now may I invite you to go down your memory lane. Okay, and as you walk down back in time, you become younger and you see the 12-year-old Felicia. Yeah, she's so close to you that you can see her looking at you, smiling, and you can almost touch her. What will you tell the 12-year-old Felicia? No wrong or right. Yeah, can be anything.
If back then I would probably tell myself grades isn't everything lah. I mean much as because we were all be it brainwashed or whatever to feel that grades is everything lah. But as long as you put in the effort, you really done your best, I think it's good enough. Yeah. So of course back then I started to become aware or to know that results is the thing, and that's what determined me to get to the necessary secondary school that I want. So yes, it does has the push factor lah, because you're at the stage whereby you're like growing, not growing, that kind of thing. So yes, it does push me to say that okay, I want certain level so that I can get to certain school. Yeah. So I started pushing myself in that sense as well. Did I go to a good school? I think okay lah, relatively neighborhood school, not like fantastic, but I think it's still a good start still because it's based on my own effort. Yeah. So it's also applauding myself for my own effort that I can, get to there. That's where I wanted. But it's also starting to know the awareness of where you want to be, what do you want to be when you grow up, stuff like that. Then you are slowly trying to work towards it. So it's a start of everything, right? It's a start of gateway of everything. But is to really let them know it's not just a grade, but it is where you want to be at the end of the day, and how do you want to work towards it. And also having said so, do you explore them enough so that they know what they want also, right? Because sometimes they tell you, I also don't know why I don't know which school to go. Everything don't know.
Yeah, I don't know also.
Yeah, so obviously because we wasn't taught that to really explore, to really know what is the different roles or what is the work in life that we are supposed to explore too, you see. So how can they know that kind of thing? But if they know, they probably will have a better idea on what they want to choose, and then it will be more self-motivated, self-driven rather than we pushing them.
Yeah. So knowing what you just said, which is awesome. So in a sentence, and keep it to a sentence, what will you tell Felicia?
I
The
will
12-year-old
tell,
Felicia.
I will tell her that grade isn't everything, but having said so, take time to explore what you really want at the end of the day.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, and I'm sure she's going to be very happy when you tell this to her. Okay, Felicia, thanks so much for being here, and I really appreciate it. And I know that we are connected through Sophie, and I just want to thank you for agreeing
No worries.
on the spot. Yeah, I mean, I know that it's not everybody say yes straight away. Yeah, they're very careful with like, who's this guy? Yeah, but I think you have a very big heart and you're very generous, and you just straight away say yes. And you even ask me, when is it? Wow, this person has a very big heart. Yeah, and now I can see why as well. Okay, so so don't go off first. I will stop the streaming. And parents, thanks so much for being here. And I know that we are doing a maths Facebook group, running it. But again, the reason why I do this is because as a parent myself, we also need to up our parenting skills because our children are growing up so fast. Yeah, so I really hope to support you in maths as well as the non-maths aspect. Yeah, so I wish you have a good weekend and I'll see you next time in the Facebook group. Take care. Bye bye.